It's a very old sport with lots of tradition to it.
So, Joy, when you have young people turn up to the club and they want to learn, do you find that they themselves also have some preconceived ideas that might be incorrect? And if they do, what are they?
Sometimes they do. And what we have to do is just take them back to the very basic and start and say, now, forget what you've done before, this is how we're going to do it. And work through the different form all the way through the 5-week course, which is a prerequisite of our being part of an archery GB club. We just work through the 5 weeks. When they come in, they probably haven't picked up a bow. When we get to the end, they know how to shoot the bow, how to score, what the rounds are, and we go on from there.
Is it dangerous?
No.
No, not at all.
It's not dangerous because we have fairly strict rules about how we do what we do. So that's one of the things that young people particularly have to understand pretty quickly, that we have rules that you have to follow because otherwise it would be dangerous.
Very disciplined sport.
But it's quite disciplined from that point of view. But no, it is a safe sport.
So how fit do you have to be then?
If you had a look at some of our membership, sorry guys, not going to mention names, you don't have to be particularly fit at all. It's a technique sport. It's you don't have to be built like a brick excrement shelter anymore, because modern equipment is so efficient because of technology and materials that it has become a technique sport rather than a physical thing.
But it's a marathon rather than a sprint.
Yeah.
But I think as well, not just physically, but it's one of those that I've always thought would probably be quite good psychologically, sort of mentally for mind health, because there's that good sort of...
You have to concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have to block out the other things that might be going on in your life at the time. Something called a black box routine was something that we were told about many years ago, where you put all your cares and worries in the black box, lock it, and then get your bow out and start shooting. So it is a sport that you have to detach yourself from what's going on about you and just concentrate on what you're doing, if you want to be good.
And the interesting thing, and we were talking about this Try It Out evening next week, is that you can go along and you can do it just to socialise, just to have fun, or you could look at competing. Joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Try It is really a taster, just to see if anybody's really... Lots of people say, oh, I'd love to have a go, but don't want to commit to a 5-week course. So this is really to try to encourage a few more ladies, because it's difficult sometimes for the ladies to get away to compete and do things because of the family commitments. And one competition will take 3 hours, and an indoor. Outdoor we take all day. So it's
just had a text in from your sister, Christy, who you've already suggested, because I know you wanting to go along to this Try It Out session on Tuesday.
I was going to try and bring her along.
You are. She wants to know if it's something that the boys could do, or are they too young? And the boys
see, they're 6 and 8, so
at the moment they're too young. We don't take children until they're 9. We used to take them younger, but we found out the children nowadays, because they're not as active as children once were, might be generalising, but they're not physically developed enough. You need to be able to pull a little bit of weight. But we found that children aren't as physically fit, perhaps, as they once were. And referring to the issues that we were talking about understanding why there are rules, if children are a little bit more mature, it's useful.
They concentrate a little bit more when they're 9 as well.
Yeah, that's probably true. And I was going to say the fact that you're doing this the ladies only event as well is interesting, because actually there's not just yourself who's obviously done exceptionally well in the sport, but you've got Leslie Slight as well, who's doing very well. So it's obviously something that women take to.
Yes. Yeah. And you can see straight away when people are doing it. You can spot. We'll walk along the line and say, well, she'll be quite good. Try to keep her.
Yeah.
Try to get her to stay.
You can sometimes spot people right away and it's about shape. If people get into the right shape right away, then
we do have a few lady members at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few at the moment, but some of them are not necessarily interested in competing. And of course, we want to build up a competition side as well to keep our Island Games
teams going.
Okay, a couple of other questions for you. Is it old-fashioned bows or big, scary, powerful ones?
It depends on what you want to do. We've got the whole range. If not that people will be shooting those on the come and try it, but depending on what you call by big scary ones, I don't think any of them are scary. But we have limits on the power of our bows. The compound bows that seem to have a pulley system on it. Our maximum pulling weight is £60. Not many of us are actually pulling that. I only shoot about £50 now. As I said, it's technique, and the equipment is tailored to you.
So how is next Tuesday going to work then?
Next Tuesday there'll be 5 or 6 of us at the club. People can just come along, pick up one of the training bows. We'll run through the basics with them, give them a go more than once, many times probably, depending on how many people come along. And then they can decide whether they would like to take it any further. Our next course is in January. The 5-week course starts in January, and we've got about 15 places free at the moment, which is why we wanted to do this now, so that we could see whether people were interested or not.
And if you do really enjoy it and you want to carry on with it, does that mean then you've got to get your own kit? And if so, is it quite expensive?
Not immediately. You can carry on shooting club equipment, and it's usually what we recommend that people do before they commit to buying equipment. Equipment around about £500, I would say. I would never recommend that people buy as cheap as possible, because you'll quickly be looking to replace it. So usually pitch yourself in somewhere around the middle.
But you can keep it a long time, because I bought my present bow before the games in Rhodes, which would be 2007, and I'm still shooting it.
Still shooting it.